Good morning, sir. Today we're going to present about personal narratives from the text that you have given us. In the personal narratives element, there are significant events, important characters, setting descriptions, strong introduction, interesting details, logical sequence, strong conclusion, purposeful word choice, and varied sentence structure. And we're gonna explain about it one by one. About the significant events is where the writer focuses on events that are significant or meaningful to him or her. What we found is the first is Bryan Davern got a weekend job at the Castle Palace Hotel as a porter, spent his first placement in Brussels, and went to the Four Seasons Hotel in Dallas for the trainee management placement. The third is work in different departments before coming back to work in what was then the Four Seasons in Dublin. And then he met famous celebrities such as Nelson Mandela and others. He also getting experience in an independent hotel at Castle Martyr in Cork. Bryan Davern decided to broaden his experience by taking a position covering maternity leave in Tistel hotels in the UK for 8 months, and so on.
Important character. First brother, my brother Michael is chief executive of the K Club. Second brother, Dwiki, also ran 5-star hotels before working as a lecturer. Third, Mike Tyson and other famous celebrities. If meet Mike Tyson, he was lovely, although you wouldn't challenge him to an arm wrestle. Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, and others. The highlight was definitely meeting Nelson Mandela talk. Setting description or when and when. I spent my first placement in Brussels and I went to the Four Seasons Hotel in Dallas for the trainee management placement. Castle Martyr in Cork. First, I loved working in a big international luxury brand, but when the time came for me to move on from the Four Seasons, I went to Castle Martyr in Cork to get experience in an independent hotel. Second, after Castle Martyr, which was also a 5-star hotel, Tistel Hotel. It was a 300-bedroom 3-star hotel and it was a very commercial role, so I learned a lot. The Dean. First, when I started in September 2014, it was still a building site on Harcourt Street and it was great to see it all come together in time for the launch at the end of November. Second, we opened it in time for the Christmas market and it was absolutely buzzing. Third, with 120 staff, 52 guest rooms, Sophie's restaurant and the rooftop bar, the lobby, the blue room, event space, and the games room. There is plenty to keep you occupied at the Dean.
Now on to the strong introduction, which is the first paragraph. The strong introduction can be divided into 3 parts. Firstly, the opening sentence, the context, and the hook. The opening sentence typically shows the central idea of what the author is trying to convey in the narrative. In the text, the opening sentence can be found in the quotation, "To be a hotel manager, you have to be a multitasker. You need to be good at finance, marketing, IT, customer service, food and beverage, events, and more." Next, the context usually tells about the main background of the narrative. So the context can be found in the sentence, quotation, "Hotels are big businesses with high turnover and a large staff, so you really need to be on the ball." Lastly, the hook in the text can be found in the sentence, quotation, "It's exciting and varied, but it's hard work. You need to be very focused to succeed in the business." As you can see, this is a strong statement because it grabs the attention of the readers by asserting that a hotelier needs to be very focused to succeed in the hospitality industry.
Next, there are interesting details. Interesting details, it's the details that appear to senses. It was what Bryan Davern's thinking or feeling during that event. There is what we found from the text is it was intimidating starting work in a luxury environment, but it's a great place to learn. The details, the interesting that appeal to senses is the intimidating one. And then it was an unbelievable experience and so exciting to travel at a young age. The unbelievable one. I've met Mike Tyson. He was so lovely. The lovely one is the feeling that he feel when he met Mike Tyson. And I was extremely excited. Extremely excited is when he feels super duper happy like that to be asked to interview. And then it's really exciting to work and so on and other.
Logical sequence. First, Bryan Davern firstly went for a weekend job at the Castle Place Hotel as a porter, which he considered as an intimidating experience working in a luxury environment. Second, all the way through Davern's career, he was trying to get as much experience as possible before taking the next step on the ladder. Third, spent his first placement in Brussels and went to the Four Seasons Hotel in Dallas for the trainee management placement. Fourth, worked in the different departments before coming back to work in what was then the Four Seasons in Dublin. He considered it being an unbelievable experience and so exciting to travel at a young age. Fifth, working in luxury hotel can make different learn and see so much, including meeting plenty of VIP such as Nelson Mandela, Mike Tyson, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, and other famous celebrities. Sixth, third, to diversify in his career by getting experience in an independent hotel at Castlemarty in Cork, and later broadened his experience by taking a position covering maternity leave in Bristol Hotel in the UK for 8 months. After Davern came back from UK and did a Master in Business Strategy and Innovation in Maynooth, he then worked as a GM in the Venture Resort in Connemara and a hotel in Dublin before he got an exciting opportunity to work for the GM position at the Dean. 8. After the busy launch of the Dean at the end of November, Davern worked very hard and has many responsibilities to fulfill each day. 9. Davern has been enjoying his work at the Dean and thinks that working in the hotel industry has been a great career choice as it's exciting and rewarding for him. And due to his experience working in the hotel industry, he learned that hospitality is about hard work and long hours. Hoteliers also have to like working with people, have a good communication skill, are multitaskers with strong financial skill, and are interested in trends.
And there is strong conclusion. Strong conclusion, of course, is in the last paragraph. As you can see in the last paragraph is people talk about the long hours and hard work, yada, yada, yada. If you have all these characteristics, then hotels could be the right choice for you. It gives a sense of closure or competition to the readers about working in the hotel industry based on Bryan Davern's experience. It also leaves readers with a lasting impression that being a hotelier means working long hours and hard work, and then we should fulfill the characteristic stated by Davern to be able to have a career in hospitality.
Next is purposeful word choice. In the text, we can easily identify the action verbs, adjectives, adverbs, as well as the idioms. Firstly, the action verbs. The first example is, quotation, I spent my first placement in Brussels. The second example is, quotation, I went to the Four Seasons Hotel in Dallas for a trainee management placement. The third example is, quotation, I worked in different departments before coming back to work in what was then the Four Seasons in Dublin. And the last example is, quotation, we opened in time for the Christmas market and it was absolutely buzzing. In these examples, the action verbs are highlighted in blue color. Secondly, the adjectives. Adjectives are typically words to describe nouns. In these examples, the words such as intimidating, great, unbelievable, exciting, big, international, luxury, informal, and relaxed are called adjectives. Thirdly, the adverbs. Adverbs are words that express level of certainty and degree. In these examples, words such as very, quickly, extremely, absolutely, really are words that are called adverbs. Lastly, the idioms. The first example is, quotation, you really need to be on the ball. On the ball actually means alert to new ideas, methods, and trends. The second example is, quotation, we don't have hotel keeping in the blood. In the blood actually means something that is natural because of your family. And the last example is, quotation, as you work your way up the ladder. Work your way up the ladder actually means making progress in the career structure and become more and more important. Varied sentence structure. In the text, there are a few examples of simple sentences, compound sentences, and complex sentences. Firstly, the simple sentences. A simple sentence has the most basic elements that make it a sentence, a subject, a verb, and a completed thought. The first example is, quotation, it was an unbelievable experience and so exciting to travel at a young age. It is the subject and was is the verb. I went to Castle Martyr in Cork to get experience in an independent hotel. I is the subject and went is the verb. I was extremely excited to be asked to interview. I is the subject and was is the verb. Next, compound sentences. A compound sentence is a sentence that has at least two independent clauses joined by a comma, semicolon, or conjunction. As you can see in the first example of compound sentences, hotels are big businesses with high turnover and a large staff is one independent clause. You really need to be on the ball is also another independent clause. And these two independent clauses are connected by a conjunction, which is the word so. This idea of a compound sentence can be applied to the other two examples that we have shown here. Next, the complex sentences. A complex sentence is a sentence that contains an independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. In the first example, to be a hotel manager is a dependent clause. You have to be a multitasker is an independent clause. So this idea of a complex sentence can be applied in the other two examples that we have shown here.
Okay, that's all about the narrative elements that we found from Bryan Davern's story. Hope you can understand, and thank you, sir.